I could sit here and talk about the playoffs and how insane they are and maybe give you some predictions on who I think is going to win it all. It's the Knicks, by the way. They're going to win it all. But we have a way bigger problem in the NBA right now. The NBA awards. In the past 2 days, we have seen an armed robbery against Kobe White and a straight up assault against Malik Monk. And we just sat there and watched it on our TVs like it was nothing. And as a Kings fan, it really hurt because I wanted to see Malik Monk win that Sixth Man of the Year award like no other, man. With his current status with the Kings not really being certain, I mean, it's more likely that he's going to go somewhere else than he will stay with the team. I felt like it was almost too perfect for him to win that award. Such a cool award that he deserves so much right before having to leave his best friend and leave a town that loved him so much. Now, I've done my fair share on Twitter about talking about how Naz Reid didn't deserve the award and it should have gone to Malik Monk. Point is, Naz Reid deserves the award, but I just think Malik Monk deserved it more, okay? I want to say this entire video with no disrespect towards anyone that I talk about, but one of the main points that I brought up and a lot of other Kings fans and other people brought up online was that Naz Reid played 14 games as a starter. And well, can it really be a Sixth Man of the Year award if they're starting and if they're, you know, playing all these minutes in the starting lineup? Well, yeah. Because when I was talking about how Naz Reid had 14 games and he shouldn't have won it, I was going to go actually and do some research and see what other Sixth Man of the Year winners have played in that amount of games as a starter. I mean, I felt like it was ridiculous that someone who played that much as a starter could win the award. But then you find out it's actually very common that Sixth Man of the Year winners play games as a starter. It's probably harder to find players who won the award and didn't play a single game in the starting lineup than it is the opposite. I mean, just look at 2010 through 2011, where the winner was Lamar Odom, and he played 35 games as a starter. That is ridiculous. Jamal Crawford in 2013 played in 24 games. Manu Ginobili, 23. Lou Williams in 2017 played in 19 games. So if anything, Naz Reid playing 14 games in the starting lineup is actually not that bad. But it definitely does have a negative effect on the race overall, and I think there's a lot of stuff that the voters and people aren't really looking at. Like taking, for example, Naz Reid's numbers as a starter. I'm pretty sure, I'm going off the top of my head here, but I'm pretty sure he averaged like 17 points and a handful of rebounds and assists, whereas his numbers when coming off the bench was around 12 points and, you know, another handful of assists and points. Sorry, I'm doing it all off the head. When it comes to stuff like that, shouldn't there be some sort of disclaimer? Shouldn't there be some sort of like, hey, when he's a starter, he's really good and that is bumping up his averages, but off the bench, he's, you know, still a good player, don't get me wrong, but not the player that it looks like. Because Malik Monk is averaging these numbers solely off the bench and in limited minutes. I also feel like mentioning when Lamar Odom or Jamal Crawford or Manu Ginobili or Lou Williams, whenever they won their awards, I could be wrong, but the runner-up didn't have stats that were maybe so close and also maybe didn't have 0 games played. Like they probably still had their solid amount of games played as a starter. So the fact that this year the next man up, who was Malik, had 0 games as a starter and led all these stats off the bench. I mean, look at the numbers this guy had as a bench player, as a 6th man. He led in like all of them. So the fact that that was the number 2 and he didn't win that, when if you really look at it in depth, he was the better 6th man, it really sucks because you're seeing these voters just kind of take things at face value and not really go into it. And at some point you can't really blame them, right? Because who wants to sit there and go in depth and do all this? But these awards decide a lot of things, and it kind of sucks that it all comes down to media, because huge shocker, media can have a bias. If you're not a Kings fan, you might not know that Kevin O'Connor, the basketball podcast guy, has a gigantic hate boner for the Sacramento Kings. I don't understand what it is, but it's been known now for years that he does not like the Kings, doesn't like the fans, doesn't like the franchise. I wanted to make a video specifically talking about media and their biases, but there's so much to get into with Kevin O'Connor and the Kings that I can't really do that right now. So we know that Kevin O'Connor has a bias against the Kings. Well, if we go on the 2024 NBA Awards vote tracker, which is a Google spreadsheet showing us confirmed votes from notable and media voters, you can see right here that Kevin O'Connor has voted Naz Reid as his number 1 pick. You also have Malik Monk in second. When I say this, I'm not saying, oh my God, he only chose Naz Reid as number 1 because he hates the Kings. That's not the point I'm trying to go for, but you never know. Right, there could be a part of him that says, you know what, hey, Naz Reid, you're easily number 1. Malik Monk for sure goes number 2 in that case. You know, I don't know. I just feel uneasy about that. Also, how the fuck does Bill Simmons have Malik Monk going 3rd? Like that's what I'm saying. Like what, like how unqualified do you have to be to get a vote on this shit? I don't understand. But you know what? My copium is not running low, because what this 6th Man of the Year snub could mean for the Kings and for Malik Monk is that he understands the disrespect that the Kings are getting in that situation, and he comes back on a pay cut and tries going for it again. Yeah, I'm delusional. Let's move on to the next one, because the other award we saw get announced was the most improved player of the year, one that I have been a huge hater on for these past couple years. I even made a video about it. It was one of my first couple videos way long ago. And the reason why I hate this award and why this year it just continues to be ass is because they are giving the award to players who are already good. Like, what I don't understand is how you could give an award to someone who has already been improving their points per game, assists, rebounds, everything, who has already been improving their game style throughout these past couple years. And Maxey averaged 6 more points. 6 more points. 6 more points gets you the most improved player of the year award, apparently. Not to mention, that's when you have a season where you don't have to play behind another player. This is the most expected thing ever, that he was gonna have this jump. He was already this good last year. You don't put James Harden on that 76ers team, and this is exactly what Tyrese Maxey looks like last year. That's not improved. That is just natural progression for a star player. But Kobe White, God, I've been saying this so goddamn much, but Kobe White and his progression was something that no one expected and was a way bigger jump than anyone else could have imagined. How do you go from a 9-point per game player to dropping 20 points on average every night and being an amazing playmaker? His passing has been so much fun to watch. How do you not win that award? Like, I genuinely just can't handle this, man. I'm gonna go look at people who voted on this. All right, so looking at the voting right here, and Tim Bontemps voted Jalen Brunson with his #1 pick. Like, what the fuck are we doing, people? Oh, nah, this one's gonna piss me off. Jalen Williams ended in 4th place for the most improved player of the year award with 2 first place votes and 2 third place votes. What the fuck is this? He was a rookie last year. He was a rookie averaging 14.1 points and jumped up to 19.1. I know that he's been doing great. He's had a great season, an amazing season. He's a huge piece and reason as to why the Thunder have been so good this year. But what is improved? Like, he can't improve. It wasn't a down year. He's having progression. It's called fucking progression. It's something we see every fucking year from these players, and he gets to win the most improved player of the year award when Kobe White was out here on the bench dropping 9 points a game every game for the last season, and now he's out there dropping 20. And this isn't the first time the award has been this bad, and I know I am malding over the stupidest shit right now. Like, these awards don't matter to me and have no effect on anything I do or care about, but it just sucks seeing these players that deserve this shit not get their credit or their flowers when it's so clearly twisted and not right. When it comes to the rest of the awards, I really don't think there's anything I have to complain about. We know DPOY is going to go to Rudy Gobert, even though it should go to Wemby. Wemby is going to win Rookie of the Year. Coach of the Year, I couldn't care enough about for me to like make a video talking about it. What's left? You have Clutch Player of the Year, which actually gets announced today or when this video drops. Hopefully that goes to DeMar DeRozan. MVP, we all know it's going to go to Jokic. If it doesn't go to Jokic, I will be making a video within minutes. If SGA somehow wins MVP over, no, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. That being said, hope you guys all enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below your opinions. Am I wrong? Do you think Nas Reed and Tyrese Maxey deserve to win over the players below them? Let me know, man. My favorite part about making these videos is reading and replying to everyone in the comments, and I really do appreciate you guys for making it all the way through. So thank you very much. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Later.